Cages or wings, which do you prefer? Ask the birds. Fear or love, baby, don't say the answer. Actions speak louder, louder than they speak louder, louder than actions speak louder than.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Keen After Hours. I am Jonathan Silverstein, the artistic director of Keen Company. We are an off-Broadway theater company in New York City, and I am thrilled to welcome you aboard tonight. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to start today's event with a land acknowledgement. We do this to recognize the long history of the territory where we live and work and its significance for the indigenous peoples who lived and continue to live here, and to demonstrate our commitment to addressing the legacy of colonialism in our work and practices. I'm speaking to you today from Brooklyn, which is the traditional land of wow, I'm tongue-tied this evening. I'm speaking to you today from Brooklyn, which is the traditional land of the Lenape people. Since our activities tonight are shared digitally to the internet, we'd also like to acknowledge and consider the legacy of colonialism embedded within the technologies, structures, and ways of thinking we use every day. We are using equipment and high-speed internet not available to many indigenous communities. Even the technologies that are central to much of the art we make leave significant carbon footprints, contributing to changing climates that disproportionately affect indigenous peoples worldwide. We invite you to join us in acknowledging this, as well as our shared responsibility to make good use of this time, and for each of us to consider our roles in reconciliation, decolonization, and allyship. We will continue this practice of land acknowledgement at all future public events, and to build on this practice in thoughtful ways so it's better to engage with indigenous peoples and indigenous stories. Well, so here we go. I would love to welcome aboard my cohorts on Team Keen and in After Hours, Ashley and Billy.
Hello!
Hello. Hello, Ashley and Billy. It's so nice to see you this evening, as always.
Glad to be back for another
Lovely as always.
Keen After Hours.
I wonder if anyone's tracking our costume changes throughout the weeks.
I would love a wiki, a Keen After Hours wiki, where fans really dive in, track it all.
Easter eggs, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. This episode was directed by J.J. Abrams, so there's plenty of those.
Yeah. Might be twisted again. You'll see.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Ashley, can you just tell us a little bit about After Hours and why we do this?
So After Hours is a weekly little chat show from Keen Company, where every Monday at 6:30 you can watch us. However you're watching us right now is a great option. If you'd like more options, there's YouTube, Facebook, or our website. And every week we hang out with some of alumni, some theater makers, some Broadway vets. Basically, we just missed theater people. So we wanted to talk to them a little bit every week. Our office has a real sort of RAs of the floor, or maybe event planners. We have that kind of vibe to our office. When we are in our physical space at 528th Avenue and the Art New York Theater offices, we are with a bunch of other off-Broadway companies, and we get to leave our door open and mostly get in trouble for laughing too loud. And
Never.
We get to enjoy people stopping by all the time. So we wanted to keep that energy going every Monday.
Speaking of laughing too loud, I think we can share this with the audience. I'm the one who gets in a lot of trouble for laughing too loud.
Yep.
So much so that the floor manager came and brought a sign that he made that said, "I am laughing so loud right now." Mm-hmm. And he hung it by my desk. And anytime I had the urge to laugh loudly, he suggested that I point at that sign.
And did that work?
No.
Great.
I think we just made... No, please, Billy, go.
No, I was saying one of these days on After Hours, as some bonus features, I'll have to share the video montage I made of all the times your laugh has been caught on camera.
Yes,
Ooh,
that's coming.
numerous dimensions.
It's a journey.
So
It's a journey.
This is a big week for Keen Company and for After Hours because we have some amazing guests, but we're going to bring that up in a second. We have two humongous events coming up this week. Number one, first up, on Thursday, 1993, the first episode drops. 1993 is by Finkel. It is the first offering in our Here Now season of audio theater. It is an amazing story. It is 8 episodes long. There'll be one every week, and the first one comes on Thursday. I can't believe it's finally here. My God.
Truly.
Years in the making, literally. And also on Friday night, we have something so exciting. So this season of audio theater was really inspired by old time radio. And so we were commissioning writers to write audio plays, but we're doing these 2 benefit broadcasts of classic old time radio pieces. And on Friday, we have War of the Worlds, one of the most iconic pieces of fake news out there that caused a panic in 1938. We're doing a brand new reading with Jason Tam and many other wonderful Keen artists. We've got live Foley, we've got original music. It's very exciting. You can find out all sorts of information on our website.
I can't wait for that.
I know.
So
I'm
excited.
thrilled. It's such an amazing cast and such a great script.
And it's a fundraiser for King Company. So if you're looking for a chance to support some live theater, you know, it's a win-win. We get a little donation and you get a cool night at the theater.
And it will prepare you for Halloween. So if you're not going out trick-or-treating this year,
season,
this will do it. Well,
that's why I'm listening. I'm not going trick-or-treating this year.
Nope.
Yeah, I would love to get our guests out here. First, before we introduce them, I'd love to play a little montage of the show that they were in last year at Keen Company. Shall we do that?
Yes.
Let's do it. Here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jasminn Johnson and John Andrew Morrison.
John Andrew Morrison or John Andrew Keenison?
Oh,
you're right. You're right. You're right.
Really understanding. Thank you.
Hello.
Two of our amazing stars of Blues for an Alabama Sky, which was the last show of last season that sadly closed four performances early due to the pandemic. But oh my gosh, we're going to talk a bit about Blues for an Alabama Sky. It was a beautiful production directed by L.A. Williams, by Pearl Clegg, and these two smoked up the stage. And oh my God, there's shenanigans in the dressing rooms. I can't even tell you.
Shenanigans. That's the name of our restaurant we're opening.
So before we get started, I want to do a little personal introduction to both of you for our audience. Those of you who are following along, who may have joined us at other after hours, this is kind of something I do at the beginning of every rehearsal process. And since I didn't direct Blues for an Alabama Sky, I never got to do this in the room. So now I get to do it now, which means I just get to say wonderful things about y'all. So I'm going to start with Jasminn Johnson. So Jasminn, I did not know Jasminn before this show, and we auditioned Jasminn in one of the smallest studios I have ever been in my life. So tiny. And there were 4 of us in the room. It was Jasminn, the director, LA, Billy Hopkins, our casting director, and me. And Jasminn was like right at our noses. But she came in and she blew us away. And you know, there wasn't a lot of room in that room for the wind in there, but she made it happen. And you brought such a warmth and a sweetness to that role. And as I quickly came to realize, that was just Jasminn Johnson. She is warm and sweet and funny and fun. Jasminn came along with another cast member of ours, Sheldon Woodley, at this event at a board member's law office. This was like practically right before we shut down, and you were amazing and inspiring, both on and off stage. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Next up, we have Mr. John Andrew Keenison, previously known as John Andrew Morrison. So I met John Andrew many moons ago at where we both went to grad school at UC San Diego. And John Andrew was a 3rd year, and I was just a lowly 1st year. And even though I am older than John Andrew, I always looked up to John Andrew because he was the upperclassman, but he was always friendly and fun and sweet. And I specifically remember, I don't think I had ever heard you sing, but at your graduation, you sang a song. And you may have done one for your showcase too. And this man's pipes are just freaking unbelievably gorgeous. Any of you who saw him in Strange Loop, oh my gosh. Anyways, fast forward to New York. I became many years later, I became artistic director of King Company, and John Andrew was so sweet. He contacted me. He was like, "Hey, I'm doing some video work. Do you want me to do some videos for you?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's so sweet of you." So John Andrew was our videographer for I believe like 2 seasons. He did all these promos. He was so sweet. I was always so nervous filming them, and he was so great about putting me at ease. And then, John Andrew's been working for ages, and I don't know, it's been so wonderful to see John Andrew sort of just continue to work more and more and on bigger and bigger projects. When I saw you in Strange Loop, I was just freaking blown away. And then, blown away, but also I knew you were amazing, so I wasn't that blown away. And then he comes to an audition for Blues for an Alabama Sky, and he kills it. He just absolutely kills it. And what you did with that role, it was heartwarming, it was sad, it was funny, it was fierce. It was just a beautiful thing to behold. So glad you finally graced the stages of Keen. It will not be the last time for either of you. Welcome, John Andrew.
Wow. I need more. I'm joking.
I can give
lovely.
So how are you all doing? How are you all?
Ooh, doing well. It's 2020.
It is 2020.
Yep.
2020 Act 4.
Yes.
I was hoping there'd be an intermission, but there wasn't of 2020.
No.
Yeah.
She is a 5-act tragedy.
So that first act was darn good. That's when we did our show, which now seems like 30 years ago.
The first act is always better.
When you guys were showing that video, I was like, that was this year.
That was this year.
I know.
That was. Isn't that wild?
Forever ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, some of us have won awards since then. It's crazy.
An award?
Award season came out this year, and literally, like every award just threw things at John Andrew, as they should.
It only took 20 years. Come on. I mean, like I've been in this business for a long time, and nobody was saying my name. Nobody.
Total backlog.
Yeah.
So please, finally, I will take it.
Yeah.
Jasminn, I wanted to know, are you still making hyaluronic acid?
John Andrew is referencing, so backstage, have a very intensive skincare routine.
I mean, look at that skin. Look at it.
We all want it.
So John Andrew would come in, and sometimes I would have a sheet mask on my face. Sometimes they'd be putting oils on my face. And you'd just be like, what is that? Every day was new things. So yes, I don't make highlighter, but I dive deep into the skincare stuff during quarantine. Dive way deep. Too deep.
We're gonna have to do a special episode that's just you teaching us your skin routine.
I'm here for it. We got to edit this.
I know. I was going to say, if you had your own company, I would have put it on the banner and it would have been ticking across the screen and everything.
Like an infomercial. Yeah.
Like an infomercial. Order now.
Billy Reese, you're just doing all of the technological things.
Yep.
It's just wonderful.
It's magic.
I like to say I'm like Matthew Broderick in War Games. I've never seen the movie, so I don't know if the reference lands, but that's what I think.
Yeah.
You're 2020's Matthew Broderick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Thank you. He was, at my age, he was still bearable, so I'll take it. Thank you.
Shots fired.
So we like to take a little time in After Hours to kind of get to know y'all a little bit better and ask you a couple questions about your journey to where you are now. So I wonder if, starting with Jasminn, if you could tell us maybe one of your early theatrical experiences, whatever you would care to share with us.
How did you get the bug?
Yeah.
This is okay. So my mom is a teacher, and my dad is an accountant. Two very not actory occupations, you would think. They are very theatrical people.
This is their lives. Yeah, I understand that.
They love the drama. They love it all. So much so that everything that I'm in, they always pick out like a line or a scene or something, and they love to do it. And they did it with Blue.
Oh, I'm so excited. What was the Blue line?
They did it for John.
I saw it.
What was it?
Yeah, what did they pick?
It
was. Are you gonna da-da-da-da-da? I'm gonna be your man.
Oh yeah.
Really good line to pick.
And they did it to the hilt. I was like, they're actors. They've got to be actors.
You know, so they really gave me the bug just with the drama around the house and the performances. But my first ever stage role, I played a rock in kindergarten.
Amazing.
And I think I was terribly miscast. That's why I continue to do this, because you know what I mean? It's just like, you play a rock first. You just automatically get that bug. You're like, I deserve to be the lead, not a rock.
Obviously,
So yeah.
What was the show where you were the rock?
It was one of those kindergarten plays where you take a book and you make it a play. And I can't remember the book, but it was something with a mountain and rocks would fall down. So my costume was black tights and a trash bag. I always roll across the stage.
Oh boy.
My whole life is just vengeance for that role. It's just vengeance.
So you definitely got the bug from being a rock. I can understand that.
I did.
And then did you continue to act all the way through through grade school and high school?
All the way through. And there was one moment where I thought about pursuing law. I was in mock trial, and my mom was so proud. She was like, oh, she's going to be an attorney. This is amazing. But she didn't realize that I loved the drama. I was just serving the drama in the courtroom, and I was like, I'm going to be an actor. So, but yeah, I've been doing it forever.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Mr. Keenison, can you tell us something about your early days as a thespian?
Did you play a rock at any point in your young life? Oh, we might have frozen.
Whoa.
He'll be back.
Dramatic pause. We'll
yes. It did feel like a dramatic pause.
I know. I was waiting for it. Just
maybe this is his rock performance.
I think so.
Great performance. Oh man.
So, in the meantime, Jasminn, was there like a favorite role of yours in high school?
Oh wow. I always loved Shakespeare. That was my absolute favorite. And we did The Tempest in high school, and I got to play Ariel, and I just loved it. I loved it. It's such a good show. And like an easy one to get the Shakespeare bug. There are like two different bugs, the acting bug, and then there's the Shakespeare bug. Definitely. So that one definitely changed things for me. And I was like, oh, professionally, I could do this all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
the best.
Well, Jasminn, my last professional role, or no, my second to last professional role was Ariel.
You were such a good Ariel.
I would love to see this duo performance happening.
Actually,
let's do it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
We should do it.
That's the next benefit broadcast.
Yep.
Yes. We share the role. It's amazing.
So tell me your costume. I'll tell you mine.
Okay. We're going to do...
I want to know what you wore. I want to know what you wore in high school.
Oh, gosh. It was me in a class. He's back.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
No. We just wore all black. It was one of those like theater performances.
Right.
All black.
So, John Andrew, I'm going to ask you this question in a moment, but I just want to share with the audience. My costume was a pastel bikini with straps and bells on it.
Wow. I like the better.
I didn't know at the time that as an actor you could say I refused to wear this.
Yeah.
John Andrew guessed the show.
I've worn that at the Eagle a couple times.
That's what I was just gonna ask. Was that a show or a Thursday? Like what?
Oh man, red.
What show was that?
It was The Tempest.
Yes. Jasminn and I both played Ariel. We will be redoing our roles very soon for an audience for a show near you. So, John Andrew, tell us a little bit about your early career, how you got the bug. Anything you want to tell us about your early career?
Oh, well, so I mean, there's a specific moment, and it involves Dreamgirls. But every summer, we would come from Jamaica, go from Jamaica to New York and spend the summer with my aunt Claudia in Elmhurst, Queens. And it was like all of my cousins and she would just be like, get the hell out of this house. And at the time, like you could get like a twofer to go and see a Broadway show. And so we would go and we'd see all of these shows. And so I ended up seeing, like, I saw Original Company of Annie, and I was like a baby. So I woke up during The Wiz. And I'm also giving you my age. As I'm saying all this, I'm realizing all of my casting opportunities as a 22-year-old have just gone out the window. My mom was up one summer and she was like, oh, I want to see this show, Dreamgirls. And the song had been on the radio. And I was like, I don't want to see that. And she's like, we're going to go see Dreamgirls. And so we went and we saw the show. And from the minute it started, I was just like, what is this? It starts with this little drum to go, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, what is this show? What is happening? And the show just blew me away. And to this day, I've never seen something like this happen before. At the time, it was Roz Ryan who was playing Effie. And she said Roz Ryan is her name, and she had replaced Jennifer Holliday, and she came out and she sang the song, and like blew the roof off of the place, just absolutely blew the roof off of the place, and the audience started saying encore. They were going encore, encore, encore. The curtain had dropped, and I was like, what is happening? These people were going bananas. And then the curtain split. And she walked out in front of the curtain and she said, Maestro, please. And he started up and she sang the entire song again. The entire song again.
Oh my God.
And people lost their ever-loving mind. Ever-loving mind. And then she went, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We must take our intermission. And the curtain opened and she went back in and it shut. And I was like, I want to do that.
Wow.
I mean, it was one of these things where it was like, what? Wow, someone can do that? Like someone can make something like that kind of excitement happen in a it just like after that it was like, okay, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I also wanted to I told my parents I was going to Brandeis to study law. Never went to a law class.
Never.
Not even intro to law.
No, they're very close. They're the courtroom. Very close.
Didn't make it to one. And my kindergarten show was The Old Man and the Turnip, but I was the old man.
Oh, figures.
The titular role.
Wow.
You know you're destined to be. You know you're destined to be a professional actor when you play the older roles in the school shows. It always happens.
And my commitment level to it was like deep. I had like, the powder in my hair and I was trying to pull that turnip and I couldn't get the turnip. I mean, like it was deep. I mean, like I like sense memory and commitment to the was there from 4.
Man. Wow.
So, let me turn a bit to well, actually, I want to ask you one more question, John Andrew, and then I'm going to change the subject a little bit for Jasmine. Can you tell me, because I'm curious, I've never asked you this question, how did you end up at UCSD? Like, why did you decide, like, hey, I want to go to grad school, and how did you end up at UCSD?
So I graduated from Brandeis, and when I was at Brandeis, I'd started working in the Boston area. So I got like a little car my junior year, and so I would like drive to places and do shows, and was auditioning and started to kind of like get known a little bit in the Boston area. And so I'd auditioned for the show at ART, and so I graduated on Sunday, and Tuesday I was in rehearsal for the show at ART, wow. And I was like in their non-equity ensemble for this musical called Ubu Rock, which should be produced right now.
It's by Rusty McGee, right?
Yes, by Rusty McGee, who was... That man was so kind to me. That man was so kind to me when I moved to New York. He played my first agent audition. He was the sweetest man, and was so lovely and kind to me. I miss him terribly. But that show, somebody needs to do that show right now. But so anyway, I was in the ensemble for that show, and Andre Belgrader directed it. And at the time, there were like 3 or 4 UCSD students who had just graduated who were there, and I thought they were incredible. And I wanted to go to grad school, and so they were like, "Oh, you should consider UCSD." And so I applied, and my friend Katie Grant went to Brandeis as well, and she had gone the year before, yeah, this lovely man, Tommy Dara, who was an ART company member, prepped me for my audition, and I went. And when I went in, Walt Jones said, "I got a lot of calls about you." And I was like, "Is that a good thing or a bad thing?" And he's like, "No, apparently it's a good thing." And I auditioned and I got, so a funny story, I got the call back and I went back that afternoon, and in the call back, Johnny, this is so wow. Chris Butler was there, Dave Kopczynski was there, and Sam Breslin Wright were there. And we all went in back to back to back of one another, and we all walked out getting offers right then and there.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That is amazing. John Andrew, okay, this is kind of crazy. I saw Ubu Rock at ART.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I saw it.
Did you throw stuff?
I think I was scared to throw things. I definitely was like, I'm trying to be a good audience member here. There's this amazing scene. It goes on for like 15, 20 minutes where people just throw shit at the, excuse my language, they throw stuff at the actors, and the actors ask for it.
Yeah. It's nuts, and it was like this accidental moment that happened. I don't know if it was accidental, because I think it was Andre Belgrader who threw the first shoe. I think he was, but we were doing. It was the first preview, and there's this counting song that happens in the second act, and it goes from 1 to like 5 million and something. And so literally you're just like singing, my jacket has 1 button, all the way up to 5 million. So like after a while, the audience was just like, what the heck is happening? They were just, and we were doing it in a preview. It was the first preview, and all of a sudden, from the back of the house at ART, the shoe came flying and hit the stage. And like, it was the permission that the audience needed, because people like had their dinner underneath the seat on the stage.
Brilliant.
It was nuts. Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. I can't even believe that. I can't believe it. Destined.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Jasminn, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about how you decided to go to a school that no one's heard of before. I mean, you at home, you may have to Google this name. I don't know. It's called Juilliard. So can you tell us a little bit about your decision to go to Juilliard?
I will. I taught some students a couple summers ago in New Orleans, and I told them I went to Julie's art school.
Amazing.
So whenever I'm with people, I'm like, I went to Julie's art school. You don't know. It was Julie's art.
That's amazing.
Arts and crafts. I went through this sort of regular cycle of auditions, and I really wanted to go to Rutgers because they had a semester abroad where you get to go to the Globe and do that whole thing, and I was very excited about that. And I auditioned for Juilliard mainly because everyone kind of does. And I remember going in, auditioning, and then leaving and being like, well, got that done. I'm going to go back to the hotel room and just sit and chill, watch some TV. It's going to be great. And then a friend knocked on my door and was like, you got a call back. And I was like, funny. And he's like, no, seriously, you did. And it sort of like went off from there. And their like final callback weekend, going to see the school and everything, I just felt this sensation of like, oh, I really want to be here. It feels so good. And it was a crazy 4 years. Don't regret it, but would go back and give my past self tons of advice. But it was really great. And I love New York, and it was wild coming from South Carolina to New York. I was completely out of my depth, but I loved it. It was wonderful.
Darn. I mean, like, every single actor I meet from Juilliard is amazing, and you are certainly no exception. I mean, like, what an amazing program. And I assume you must have learned quite a lot there. What a great school.
Yeah, still learning. Some of it still comes back every once in a while. I'm like, God, that's what they meant?
I feel the same way.
All the time.
Did you get to do a lot of Shakespeare at Juilliard too? Did you get to like, you said you were like, got that bug. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the the big thing at Juilliard when I was there was the Chekhov slot.
Oh, of course.
So that's where you take a corset class, and they like teach you how to put on a corset, and it's like this very, like all the older women who work there are like, this is how you tie a corset, and this is how you breathe in a corset, and all you can do is eat grapes in a corset. And I just remember like being in Three Sisters, like my ribs. So easy to cry in that show because you can't breathe. It's
That's amazing.
Do you just watch High School Musical 3 with such pride now?
Oh yes, any show where they're like, oh, and she gets into Juilliard.
Yeah. Right.
I'm glad.
So here's a question for you both. I'm going to start with John Andrew because I started with Jasmine last time. Can you tell me something? Yeah, I'm trying to give everyone equal footing. Can you tell us about one of your first professional experiences?
Yeah. Well, here. My first professional experience was I was a sophomore at Brandeis, and there was a professional theater called Chiswick Park Theater that's no longer there, and they were doing a production of Prelude to a Kiss, and I'd worked with the director the year before, and he offered me this part to just this nothing of an ensemble part, but part of it ended up being in drag for some reason. So I played her bridesmaid at one point in time, and then I was like a waiter. That was the first time someone paid me to act.
Now, was that an artistic choice or just a clever double casting? Or we'll never know.
Sure.
Yep.
John Andrew, I saw you in that production.
No, you didn't.
I'm kidding. That's a joke. I couldn't help it.
Like it has your resume and is going through. Amazing.
That's so wow. So you were in school and got your first professional job. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like once I kind of decided I was doing it, like it kind of presented itself. And I almost failed out of Brandeis the first year. So my first semester, I was not allowed to do theater. Of my second year, I was not allowed to do theater as part of my academic probation. So I went and did it off campus.
I love that.
Ooh. You create the rules.
I love it.
That's amazing.
What about you, Jasmine?
So I was actually in my second year of school when I got my first professional gig, but it was a very bizarre thing. There was a small company of actors who came to Juilliard because they had a show that they wanted to do at the Edinburgh International Festival. Mm-hmm. And part of they had trouble figuring out who the ensemble was going to be. And so they made the ensemble up of Juilliard actors and RADA actors, and they auditioned us. And I remember at the audition, they just asked us to come in with a monologue. And you're already tired from school and like trying to cram so much in your brain that I just like pulled this monologue from some random place, some Sam Shepard monologue. And I go in and I went up in the middle of it and I just like finished the rest of it with like a Southern accent. Improv.
Yeah.
And these Brits were like,
oh my gosh.
It was me and a couple classmates, and we went over for like 2 months during the summer, and we were just in the ensemble of the show, and we were in Edinburgh, and I couldn't understand a single word anybody was saying. Because they were all Scottish and I just couldn't. I was like, what is happening here? What is happening? But that was my first little professional gig.
I did the Edinburgh Festival in 2003. And yeah, the later it got, the worse the understanding.
I don't understand anybody.
Oh my God. Like by 10 o'clock, they'd be like, that
is amazing.
But discover, I love haggis. It's so delicious.
I didn't try it.
I must say, it's very
I
good.
would definitely watch the movie of you two going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and just trying to understand what everyone's saying.
We should go.
I love it. I want that documentary.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Blues for an Alabama Sky, Edinburgh Fringe Festival with just 5 chairs and a folding screen.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I think you have to cut off an hour and a half too to make it fit in the time.
Yeah. We just
problem.
say every third word.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Halfway through, it becomes a separate play. We just don't tell anyone.
I'm just imagining LA freaking out. Just let this guy.
Can I tell you? I spoke with him 2 nights ago. I spoke with yesterday. I spoke with him yesterday, and I was like giving him a hard time. I'm like, you just wanted me to be word perfect. I hate it. He was like, yes, John Andrew.
I love that grievance is still. We were just talking about how that feels so long ago, and you remember it.
Oh yes,
grievance. I love
it. Because there were so many words.
So
many words.
Many
words. It was. I mean, that was it. 2.5 hours. Is that right?
Yes.
Wow. It was epic. It was. Last season was an epic season of long plays. Because I think Molly Sweeney was long too. We like to get people into those seats and keep them there.
The show that was at the other theater next door started after us and came down before us every night. So I'd be changing, and the entire cast of that other show would be coming out with my underwear were down. Every night I mooned them. Everything.
You all were so amazing in that show, and like audiences enjoyed that show like in such a beautiful way. I remember sometimes being out in the lobby and it sounded like there was a concert going on in that room. People were reacting so loud and continuously and just having a ball. You really gave people some night out at the theater.
Oh, we had fun.
Yeah, I will say, what was really great, and I don't know how you guys did it or if it was the play, but we got a lot of Black audiences.
Yeah,
and that's always just a different energy in the room, especially when it's a Black play, And the thing that's kind of great about Blues for an Alabama Sky is it's a Black play that's not necessarily all about Blackness. It's about still a human experience, and so it was always wild. I remember was it Spellman?
Spellman.
That night was bananas. That was fantastic. But you all were able to get a lot of folk into the theater. So I appreciate that because it makes a lot of difference when there's a Black audience kind of going, oh, that's cousin Ray Ray.
I think it was that Spellman night that Alfie was on stage, and is it when she picks up the eviction notice? It's some scene, and someone goes, "She's pregnant."
I love it. So we had for the audience, we had a night that was literally wall to wall this amazing Spelman University or Spelman College alumni group, and they were like probably the best, the most engaged audience I think maybe ever.
Do part of the reason why is that Jasminn, John Andrew, and LA all gave them a talk before the show. So they were like primed and ready to go because you guys were so awesome during that talk. They were ready. They were ready.
That was fun.
They
That
were
was
a fun crew.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
So we have, I'm so happy to say that Pearl Clegg, the writer for Blues from Alabama Sky, has written us an audio play as part of our season, a brand new audio play that we're going to be debuting in February. We are just thrilled.
Yeah,
but anyways,
we get a new Pearl. I mean, what a get! We get a new Pearl Clegg play.
I know. So many people are like, we want a sequel. We want to see what happens with Guy and Delia in Paris.
Yeah.
Love it.
it just goes to show the power of that play because you don't often hear that. Like, what happens next?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I love doing that play.
I'm sitting
But the costume changes.
You had like no exaggeration. What, dozens? I don't know how many costumes.
There were like costume changes that I put on to exit the stage. Like I had 2 costume changes. Literally, I did a full costume change to literally come on and walk back off the stage. And I remember the first meeting, and like Asa had like that whole thing of all of these costumes, and I was like literally to myself, I was like, oh, isn't that nice? Just like some samples of what the costume will look like. Not really getting that. No, I was wearing all of these costumes.
And you were playing your character was a costume designer too. So they were full costumes.
Oh yeah,
it was full costumes. Yeah,
those costumes were brilliant. Asa Benali is a genius. Genius.
He really did brilliantly with them, and thank God for Molly. Oh,
yes,
that was one of those shows where it's like, oh, a dresser is a godsend.
Molly, we were ready to like contract her to be wardrobe assistant, like for our next like 5 shows.
Incredible.
Amazing.
She was great.
So let me ask you, is there a question you want to ask each other?
Oh
my God.
We're going to turn the table. You can ask each other a question.
This is happening live, ladies and gentlemen. This was not prep.
Nope.
I mean, there's several things I want to ask Jasmine, but I don't think it would be appropriate for a public.
Fair.
I know. We'll talk later. We'll talk after hours.
It's after, yeah.
Because I do follow your Instagram. Hello.
Oh. Okay, I have a question. Oh. John Andrew, you are such an accomplished actor, but also an accomplished musical theater artist. So if Guy had a song in Blues from Alabama Sky, where would the song be, and what would it be called?
Ooh, love this question.
Wow.
Also, now Jasmine's hosting all after hours, and we're fired.
Where would the song be, and what? And oh my gosh, I think it would have to be when he finds out he's going to Paris, and it would have to be some kind of joyous Duke Ellington song.
Yes.
And I'm drawing a blank as to which one it could be. But I think that's what it would have to
I love
be.
it. I love it.
So you're saying we're making Blues for an Alabama Sky the musical?
I mean, I'm saying we're not making it.
That's the piece that goes to Edinburgh.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Every third word and music.
And music.
Yeah, every third note. Yeah.
Every third note. Oh my gosh. How do you remain so beautiful, Jasmine?
Laughter.
Laughter
That's
and
actually
joy.
a great answer.
That's the best answer.
Laughter.
I do have another question for y'all before we sort of get to the question bowl, which you will see what that is in a moment. So oftentimes we have younger folks listening in, and curious if you have any words of wisdom, sort of just about being in the profession, or sort of, you know, getting to where you are now, that you would like to impart.
Any advice you would, you guys both laughingly mentioned you'd give advice to your younger selves in grad school.
My mom always says this to me, and it's all they can say is no. And I think it's just the best advice. Just go for whatever you want. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Don't be afraid to cold call or email. All they can say is no. And I think it's just like fantastic advice, and something that I try to live by all the time. Whenever I feel those like little scaries of like, I'm not good enough, or will I, can I? It's just all they can say is no.
Yeah. I
That's
like
beautiful.
Yeah.
I almost feel like mine kind of like plays off of that a little bit. Not everything is going to be for you, and that's okay. Like I wish someone had told me that, or I could have believed that when I was younger, because I tried to fit into so many boxes that were not my box to fit in. And so it's okay that not everything is for you, because what is for you is going to be perfect. And so it's okay if it's not for you. It's okay. And you can make the thing that's perfect for you too. You know what I mean? So it's okay if it's not for you. My friend always says, my friend Sekon, she always does this thing. She goes, I'm a juicy mango. And sometimes people want a lime. I can't be a lime.
I love it.
I can only be a juicy mango. And it's okay. That's okay.
That's beautiful. I'd say, like, I feel like when, you know, once we get like maybe a couple more after hours, I feel like we could release a super cut of like a good 45 minutes of inspirational pieces of advice, because you guys are always so generous.
Well, what is your advice for the young director Johnny out there?
Ooh.
Okay, now you're putting me on the spot. I'm actually gonna okay, I could say so many things. I think the most important thing is for one to listen to their instincts, that deep down voice, because it kind of always tells you what to do. But beyond that, and this is maybe kind of a corollary, is that you're enough. You are always enough. And that's kind of, maybe it comes from maybe what John Andrew was saying too, is that I think a lot of times we all kind of go like, oh, I want what that person has, or this person is so good at that, or this. Well, you know what? No one is ever going to do anything the same as you are. So don't try to be anyone else. I think that's something I've learned so much from just watching people audition and seeing all I mean, like both of you all, when you came into audition and I got to sort of witness you working with LA, you gave performances that no other actor gave. And it's so obvious when you know, your core comes to a role. And no one is going to do it the same. You're going to bring it something completely you, and it's you that we want. So I witnessed that both with your auditions and in your performances. It's so beautiful. It's always great to be the artistic director, and I get to sit and watch from the outside as all of this happens. And I got to watch LA bring you all together and you all to go through this journey. And I think sometimes when you're a director, you're sort of like emotionally wrapped up in it, and you sometimes can't see it so clearly. But to see you all where you started in your audition and where you ended up was just a joy to behold.
I was just thinking, you mentioned LA. The two of you are the noisiest directors ever in a room. Between you with your big laugh and then LA with a, ha! Yes.
Him throwing sticky notes. That was my favorite thing that LA did. He would just start pulling off sticky notes and just throw them at you.
Like, yes. Throwing sticky notes.
Like confetti, like celebratory.
Yes. And then if you did something that was amazing, he would take the whole pad of sticky notes.
or he would say your name with this upward. He'd go, Jasminn.
Sheldon.
Amazing.
It was very clear when he was happy, right?
Oh my
You
gosh.
could probably tell when both you with LA and Johnny were ever in an audience too.
Yes, you could. You absolutely could. Yes.
Danger.
Oh, can we have time
Danger.
for a lightning round?
Yes.
This is the question bowl.
Oh.
Now you might say that just looks like a mixing bowl with the Keen logo taped on it, but oh no.
It's the question bowl.
It's the question bowl. Okay, these are just random lightning round questions. I'm going to pick them at random. Oh, okay. Favorite day off activities. What is your like downtime? You got to chill Monday activity.
Sleep.
Sleep? I mean, that's fair.
I was going to say laundry.
Oh, yep. Do you just try to get it off your to-do list, or is that soothing for you? Like,
No, I hate it. But I do have someone who told me that if you have a bad day, just do a load in the wash. And it actually helps. There's just something about it that's nice.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, craziest job you ever had? Any sort of crazy like day job, hustle jobs?
Crazy.
Fun ones or like bizarre ones?
Did any of you like hold a sign and do that thing with that guy?
Flyers.
No, but I did do a musical once about the Branch Davidian cult killing in San Diego. That was on a set that was like 15-degree rake that went from stage left to stage right. So you were like this the whole time.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I'm
Someone's
also cold
getting dinner.
musicals.
We already answered that. Do you have favorite podcasts? Any podcast recommendations? Are you podcast people? Maybe you're not. That's okay.
No, I love a podcast. I listen to The Read. It's a very funny podcast. What's it called? Keep It is very good. Pop culture podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I've let go of the more political ones this year just because, I mean, there's only so much.
2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember your first audition songs or monologues? Like whatever was the first one you learned, maybe you went in as a rock or whatever you were going in for when you were
I sang Come Rain or Come Shine until I was sick of it. Like I was like, oh god.
I'm not a musical theater actor really, but in my like imagined self, for any musical theater audition, you just go in and you sing Annie, I think I'm gonna like it here.
perfect.
You just tell them that you're gonna like it here, and then
That's correct. Correct.
I think I'm gonna like it. It is a great advertising song.
That's it.
I love that. Okay. Do we have time for a couple more?
We got time for one more? Yeah.
Do you prefer to sit center or aisle?
Center.
I like the aisle in the center.
Okay.
Oh,
No, that's
nice.
a good compromise.
Wow. Well, it was so nice to have you all on and see your faces. It's been too long. I can't wait till I can see you in person.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And since Blues from Alabama Sky closed early, we didn't get to sort of have a closure send-off celebratory. So it's always good to see you all and sort of say hello again.
Yeah. It was good to see your faces.
Yes.
Billy, show the people your pretty fingernails. Don't hide them.
Oh, you know. They're fresh. It's fresh. Did it just for this.
Yes.
Maybe I'll do some Keen Green next week.
Yeah.
Please, please, please.
Spell it out. K-E-N. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, stay safe and well, and until we see you again, which I hope will be very soon. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Oh
Amazing.
boy.
Such a blast. As always.
As always.
As always. They're the best.
I feel like, every week we get like new inspiration and new amazing stories. I feel like this is a masterclass. We should just put them all together.
Totally.
Yep.
Totally. Honestly.
Graduating seniors. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, between them and just all of Marsha last week, you know, truly.
What more do you need to know?
I'm still getting emails texts from people saying like, Marsha Mason was a drag racer? What?
Yeah.
Well, get ready. You're gonna get a bunch. Like when did Jam perform on a 15-degree sideways rake?
Sure.
It's shocking every week.
Yeah.
So, who do we have coming up next week?
Next week, we have Tony nominee Lily Cooper joining us, which is very exciting. Very exciting. Lily was in our production of Tick Tick Boom years ago, and our benefit reading of Arsenic and Old Lace, and many, many more Keen events. She is a great friend of Keen, and we can't wait to have her.
Yeah.
You know I'm going to cry when I see those clips coming up next week.
You cry every clip, I feel like.
That is true.
Every time we do a clip and cut back to you, you're like hiding it.
Yeah.
I love it.
By the way, everyone, excuse me. The opening clip sequence was edited and created by none other than Mr. Billy Reese.
Oh my God, I know him.
Show you off.
Oh, man.
Here's another sneak peek. Thursday, when we debut at 1993, we also have an original composition in the intro and, as we say, outro, or at least as I say it, a theme composed by Mr. Billy Reese, who is not only Keen's marketing manager, but a very successful and talented composer.
Well, thank you, Johnny. It was a pleasure to be asked.
It was a good for us. We can't believe you said yes.
The theme would be nothing without your narration over it. So there you go.
Go on.
There you go. That's what the people are really coming for, Johnny.
So,
we've got 1993 premiering on Thursday. We've got War of the Worlds coming up on Friday. Information for all of that is on our website, www.keencompany.org. And then next Monday, we're going to be talking to Lily Cooper. So, big week, everyone.
The hits keep
Can't
coming.
wait.
Yeah.
The hits keep coming.
Have a wonderful week, everyone. If you haven't already, get out there and vote. We got a week and a day left. And I hope you all stay safe and well and have a wonderful week ahead.
See you at the virtual theater soon.
See you at the virtual theater soon.
Bye.